Hi, this is Bowen Cairns.
And this is Greg Dunlap.
And we're here for the third and final game of the Papa 14 quarterfinal round with Lyman Sheets, Steven Zoller, Alberto Santana, and John Replogle. Monster Bash is a game with a lot of house balls out of the bumper area because there isn't a direct feed to the flippers. So players will need to handle the return out of the bumpers both through the right lane and potentially out of the bumpers to the left as the game progresses. Once you get control of the ball, you want to go for several of the different modes available. The bride mode, which you get from shooting each ramp 3 times, is probably the most valuable. But tied to that is also the Frankenstein multi-ball. The Frankenstein multi-ball freezes all timers for modes that are in progress. So what you may see players doing, if they get control of the ball, is going after modes but not starting them, and waiting to start those modes until they have the opportunity to stack them all with the Frankenstein multi-ball. So that's skillful play, and if the player can get to all modes, all 6 of them, they will light Monster Bash, which is an opportunity for a huge scoring advance. A player who can get to Monster Bash, if no other player gets there, is basically going to win this game. Good luck to everybody. Remember, as a reminder, John and Alberto will need to win this game outright in order to make it to 6 points. Steven Zoller needs to take a second to make 6 points, and Lyman is looking to gain at least 1 more point here by avoiding last place. If he makes it to 7 points, he's basically guaranteed to advance to the semifinal. So Lyman picked this game, as you said, and so he'll play first. And he misses the skill shot right off the bat, so must not have very good knowledge of the game.
And that's trouble right there. You can see that right-hand feed tipped right into the slingshot. Lyman tried to slap the side of the game to push it out a little bit more, and didn't have complete success. And if that's going to be happening on everybody's ball, then I predict we're going to be seeing some trouble in this game.
So watch here as he feeds the bumpers again from the left loop. If he can, and he hits the side of the machine there to try and push the ball off that that feed into the slingshot.
Yeah, he made a great save out of the outlane on the left there as a result of that, and so he's still in business. But that kind of luck can't go on forever if that continues. It's
huge danger, and you have to make 4 of those loop shots to get the Wolfman.
And not to mention feeding the bumpers to start Mummy.
Right, yeah, the bumpers to start Mummy is pretty critical. And it's not clear, because he's player 1, just how well he's going to have to do here to secure some points from this game.
Right, he basically has to operate under the assumption right now that he needs to get Monster Bash to win. So he's being really aggressive.
There's another left loop. It's in the bumpers, and that time it feeds out the left, which comes right to the flipper. Very lucky there. And he's getting some bump back and forth there. Some really nice action, multipliers, as well as Mummy hits. There's the right, and whew, that is tough.
And here he goes, starting the Wolfman mode.
Oh, he started Wolfman. Interesting. So this is kind of a cash-in. Some players would wait until multi-ball multi-ball is ready to do that, but he's cashing in the points right away. Oh, and almost a second loop. The loop is lit for 1 million, then 2, then 3, then 4. So I'd expect him to just try and cash in these shots right now.
Yeah, that's what it looks like he's doing.
And Bride is almost ready as well.
Yeah, he's really close.
And that last shot, I think he aimed for Frankenstein. I'm not sure whether that was where he was aiming for, but he's got 3 Frankenstein hits as well. So he's most of the way towards lighting the Frankenstein multi-ball. It's a very important goal.
Another Wolfman shot here, and a second one right off there. That's great.
So we got 1 more for 4. Oh, and he's not going to get the 4 million as the ball drains off the right sling. But very high quality play there by Lyman.
Yeah, really great progress. Not a ton of points, but he's in really good shape.
And decent points. He's, what, 20 million maybe? Steve takes over, and let's see if he gets control. He's got full control of the ball here. What do you think he's going to go for?
I think a ramp shot.
Oh, well, no!
Oh, my God!
Okay, so just a general point here. I actually feel it's important when you get on a machine, because you're nervous, you're amped up, you want to play some pinball, you're playing high stakes. Just make a comfortable shot. Make 3 or 4 good, comfortable shots once you get control of the ball. And here's Alberto, and oh man, and he pretty much ran in the same boat.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
But each of them has 1 shot to the Frankenstein, to their credit, on their ball.
Yeah, and 1 drain as a result.
Hey.
And it's interesting because Lyman got 4 shots to Frankenstein, but he wasn't shooting at it. They were all just the result of him sort of missing other shots and getting over there. So.
That's a really good point. I think that is something for these players to all observe, that Frankenstein is... Oh, and
there's
happens
another,
again.
the same thing, again.
So Lyman sitting pretty at 9 million. Sorry, I said 20 million, but it's 9 million.
Yeah.
With the other players have basically made no progress, even though none of them had a house ball. They all had control of the ball.
And Lyman's got Frank open now.
So Frankenstein is ready, but he's not going for it.
No, he's trying to get the creature mode started or ready to go in addition. So he's trying to stack another mode on top of this, basically.
So, and there was almost a dangerous shot where he almost accidentally started Frankenstein, but he's trying to stack in everything else, and he's still kind of on target towards getting to Monster Bash at some point during this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So again, I was really close there, and he does not want to start that Frankenstein multi-ball, so that shot was a mistake. It's an interesting game because at some points, this is one of the rare games where you deliberately want to not shoot something.
Yeah, you want it ready to be shot when you get to it. Oh, that's a tough drain off
What caused that drain?
It looked like he was shooting for creature, and it tipped off the slingshot and went up that right ramp, and then just came back down the middle.
Man, so Steve gets control on ball 2, and he's made a bride shot, so he's got a little bit more comfortable progress than he had on ball 1.
Yeah.
We'll see if the strategy changes. I think it should for all these other players, because getting to Frankenstein, you know, you've only got 2 more balls. You can't afford the same kind of drain as you had on ball 1.
Well, the thing about Alberto and John is that, you know, losing that first ball is killer for them because they have no chance of moving on if they don't get first place.
That's a great point. Steve just has to beat those 2 others.
That's right. So for him to just...
But drains off of Frank again. I don't think he was aiming for Frank that time, but Frankenstein targets. That leads to a lot of drains on this machine, and he's going to need to refocus for ball 3. It's very unlikely that he'll get second place with the score that he's putting up so far.
But if Alberto and John continue to struggle here, then I can see a case being made for him just starting multi-ball and taking some points out of it because you know, he doesn't need to necessarily beat Lyman and have a killer ball. He just needs to beat the other 2 guys.
Yeah. In fact, one strategy I might propose for some of these players is going for the spinner. We haven't seen anybody aim for the spinner yet, but it's worth a lot of points. And there's a left out lane drain on a tough play from Alberto. Nothing really much he could do there with the tight tilt.
No, I don't think so.
I asked Lyman once about the spinner on this game because it's worth so many points. And he said, you know, nobody shoots with a spinner on this game, so I just made it worth a lot to try and encourage people to go that way. The spinner shot is 60,000 per spin. And basically you're getting at least $1 million for every shot to that center loop.
And plus you're progressing towards Mosh Pit multi-ball, which can be worth a ton of points.
Mosh Pit is only 6 shots away, and it can be worth 20 million or more.
John getting a little more action this game here.
Yeah, some nice slide action there, and he went through the spinner. So there it is. Like, that spinner shot was worth 800,000, and meanwhile the right ramp is worth 200,000. So which one would you pick? But the bride in the end may be worth more because if you can stack it with a Frankenstein multi-ball, you can go big.
And of course, on the bride, you get the shot back to the flipper, whereas on the spinner, you get that feed from the left, which isn't as controlled.
That's true, although sometimes you get through that spinner and you can one-time it up the right ramp, which is relatively wide. And it's actually, it's a really satisfying combo. I don't know whether that's a good reason to shoot it in Papa Final.
Right, right.
So, John's playing pretty well here, and he may be targeting one mode there. I think he was shooting for the creature. Some players actually just go creature all day on this game because it's relatively safe and it's a one-shot strategy. That was it. Oh boy, that was a tough feed there out of the center.
Yeah, it was really, really close to the edge of the flipper.
So great awareness by John to get that ball back, and tough center drain. Rightful tilt. There's not much bonus on this game, but and he's got to win, so he's really got to go for it. Lyman takes over and promptly gets the ball stuck. Nice job.
He taps it out, and we're all good. And he gets money lit.
Okay, Mummy's ready. So what's he going to do here? He's got a lot ready.
So he's got this ball cradled here. I would expect him to backhand Mummy and then maybe bounce it over. Well, he missed. But bounce it over to start Bride and then do a flipper pass to get Frank going.
He's going to need to get control again. He's got control on the right again. So he is trying to do that. He looks like he's trying to start Mummy right now. Even though Frankenstein is ready, this is a good play.
Yeah.
Here he's got control ball again. And third time in a row bricking that shot into the scoop.
It's hard because he could start Bride and then shoot into the scoop from the left, but then he's got to do it on the fly. There he goes. He's in there, so I would expect he bounces this over.
There's Mummy. There's a kick out, and oh boy, out of control. Oh, nice shot there. He's got Bride started, and you're right. There's the flipper pass.
Yep, and right up to Frank.
And Frankenstein is ready for good points. Nicely played. So it's interesting because Lyman just needed to not finish last in this game. But he's still playing a pretty risky strategy there. He could easily have just cashed in Frankenstein. And,
or just Bride and Frankenstein.
Especially recognizing that the other players don't have a score to beat him right now, and he just has to beat one of them to advance. But I think Lyman would rather win this game outright.
Yeah, he would rather go for it.
And now Bride is lit, which means every ramp shot is worth at least 500,000.
You'll notice he kind of let that ball go because he's got ball saver running, and it frees him up to make some Bride or Frank shots.
And it's also going to award Mummy points. The Mummy is running right now, so the bumpers are doubled, and they're going to award points towards the completion of the Mummy round.
That's a great point.
So a relatively poor multi-ball, but he did finish Mummy. He did get the Frankenstein instrument. I doubt instruments are really going to come into play in this game, but the player can earn a second bonus round called Monsters of Rock by completing all 6 monsters. He's got 4 monsters done. He needs Creature and Drac. And
he's still got Bride running, so he can pick up some good points from that here too.
Right. So I'm not sure why he's. If it were me, I would be going directly for the monsters I'm missing. Shooting for Creature, shooting for Drac. Mm-hmm. Even shooting those Drac stand-up targets on the right, which are usually not a great idea.
Right, I think he's got 1 or 2 letters left for Drac, if I saw that correctly.
Okay. And Creature, he had some trouble shooting Creature earlier, so let's see now that he's recentered whether he's going to change his focus. He could cash in another Wolfman, which would give him an opportunity to score 10 million more, but he's going for Creature. Good idea.
Yeah.
And the catch on the right.
It's a little touchy.
A little touchy there. Players generally post-transfer this and then go for Creech again. Nice. Some players here will let the ball bounce off the left flipper in hopes that it will collect on the right. But Lyman would rather grab the ball with any flipper he can get his hands on. And he started Creech. Nice job. So he's got 5 monsters. The only one left is Drac. So he just needs those Drac targets a couple times.
And then he lights Drac. And he can just go in there and collect it and start Monster Bash.
So there it is. He's got 2 shots to go for Monster Bash. Starting Drac by shooting the scoop, and then another scoop shot to start Monster Bash. It's ready, and if he gets this... Power drain down the right. And Lyman walks away a little frustrated, but with a solid score and a fine performance. Over 50 million here. So... the last 2 players, Alberto and John, are in real trouble to try and make their 6.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, Steven here just wants to get as many points as he can to make it harder for them to beat him. Only needs 2 more shots to start Frankenstein.
And there's a touch onto the Frank targets. He's got 1 shot for Bride as well. And misses the right ramp to start Bride. Got another chance at it. Oh my God, he needs to get control of the ball right here. 1 more shot to open the Frank. And oh my goodness. Really tough. And I worry there about that tilt because he is at a score where he could potentially beat these other players.
Right, with just bonus because everybody's so close.
And hopefully that tilt won't affect him. But if either of these other 2 put together a round where they start a mode, Steve might have just gone for Bride there instead and try to cash in some Bride hits. But this is also another plea to look into the spinner strategy, because the spinner strategy almost guarantees you not to get a game below 10 million.
It's everything gets so hard because you need to balance aggressiveness with safety and sort of, you know, return on investment, as it were.
Yeah, and the tough part here, as now Alberto has opened Frankenstein, he just chooses to cash it in. Pretty much the right move here.
Yeah, I can't completely blame him for this.
Maybe it isn't though, because he doesn't have to beat Steve. He has to beat Lyman.
Win.
He has to win this game, and he's not going to get 50 million out of this multi-ball without bringing in Bride.
Any other modes running. Yeah, that's
so
true.
It's low-hanging fruit, and you're like, oh, I need points, I need to cash this in, but you also need to look at where you are in the game, and he needs to win. I don't know. Maybe he's going to get to 50 of those jackpots. He's playing it well. He's playing a good multiple. Only 47 more jackpots to go. Oh, I'm sorry. 47 more super jackpots to go.
That's right, because his normal jackpots are worth 500.
Oh no, the super jackpot is raised in value, so it's really more like 30 super jackpots now. Down to 2 balls. That was a nice move there. A little carom cradle separation.
Yeah.
He's got the Elwyn pose, not the full Elwyn, because he's only got 2 balls, but he's got 1 on each. And here a player can cash in jackpots from any shot. Most players will go right for the drac. I'm not the drac. Oh, crap.
Oh,
that was a really tough drain. Couldn't get control of the ball back out of multi-ball. And unfortunately, that'll be the end of the line for both Alberto and Steve, as Alberto moves into second place in the game, which ensures that Steve can't make it to 6 either. So John needs a strong ball 3 here in order to advance. He has to beat everyone. And that just won't happen. I'm sorry. He never really got control of that ball. Had a chance to catch it on the left, maybe, but a tough ending there. He finishes with 4.5 million points, and that means that Lyman wins the game. And Lyman crushing that group is going to be the only one to advance. Alberto finishes second, so he gets up to 4 points. Steven finishes last, so he stays at 4. And John finishes third. 3 thirds for John in the round, so he gets 3 points total. But it's going to take more than 4 to advance. Lyman clearly advancing with a 10, and he played well throughout the entire group.
Yeah, it's really tough for Steven having such a strong first game and taking first on Family Guy in this group, and then taking 2 lasts. I mean, I know that feeling all too well, and it's not good, and you just kind of have to put it behind you, and the next time you get into that situation, forget about it and do your best again.
Yeah, he can look back at a couple opportunities there on the Terminator 2 with just some bad break, not getting that payback time with a half ramp shot, and just getting really close on Monster Bash to starting Bride or Frankenstein. Either one of those would have given him at least 1 more point and maybe a chance to advance. But for his first Papa tournament ever, to make it all the way to the final 16 is a real accomplishment. Very few players do that. So that's the end of this group. Congratulations to Lyman for advancing, and to John, Alberto, and Steven for making it to the final 16 of the World Pinball Championship. Thanks for watching, and we hope you'll watch some of our other videos and get out there and play some more pinball.